In Luke chapter 15, Jesus told the parable of the prodigal son. It's a story about a father who had two sons, and one day the son said to his father, "Dad, I want the inheritance now. I don't want to wait till you're dead, but I want to live as if you're dead." And with tears in his eyes, the father handed the inheritance to the son. He understood he could not force his son to love him and to live together with him in his home. So he gave the inheritance to the son, and the son grabbed it and ran off to a distant land. He was trying to find gusto and fulfillment and meaning in life, and so he bought into the props that his culture offered. He bought into the prop of wild parties, of stimulating his nerve endings, because he thought that was what life was all about. But one day he ran out of all his money, and he couldn't afford the parties any longer, and he turned to his friends and he said, "Help, would you please help me?" But his friends said, "No, you have no more cash. We're not interested in you." The young man cried out in his hunger, "Help, will somebody please help me?" A man said, "Yeah, I'll help you. Go feed my pigs." How ironic. A Jewish young man who views pigs as unclean animals has the job of feeding the pigs. Hunger is gnawing at his stomach so badly that he begins to wish that he were a pig, so that he could fill his stomach with the worms and the pods. And then Jesus said, the young man had a thought. He remembered his father's love. And he said, "You know something? The servants in my dad's house are being treated better than the way I'm being treated. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go home. And I'm going to confess, Dad, I've sinned. I've sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Could you find it in your heart to take me back simply as a servant?" And the young man got up and he put one foot in front of the other and he returned home. But when he got home, his father ran and greeted him, wrapped his arms around him. And as the young man began his confession, the father interrupted him and cried out to the servant, "Quick, kill the fatted calf. We're going to feast and celebrate, for this son of mine was lost and he's found. He was dead and he's alive again." The son in that story is you and me. You see, we've gotten confused about what is real. We've reduced reality to simply matter and energy, when in reality, God exists. And matter, the universe, comes from God's good creative hand. You see, in reality, there's a God at the center of the cosmos who loves you and who's very competent. He's very intelligent. He's very creative. He's all-powerful. And if you and I miss God, we're missing the greatest part of reality. Why is knowledge so important? Because knowledge ties us into reality. If you have a brain problem and you need surgery, you don't just go to anybody. You go to a brain surgeon. Why? Because that brain surgeon has knowledge. And they're just not going to root around in your brain. They're going to repair your brain. If your car breaks down and you're like me and you know very little about mechanics, you don't just go to anybody to fix your car. You go to someone who has knowledge of a car. Now, what is reality? Obviously, reality includes the physical. And with our senses, we pick up on the physical. But Jesus Christ insisted that the physical comes from God. God created matter and energy out of nothing. He's the eternal God. Matter and energy are not eternal. God created in the beginning. And God created you and me to live in a love relationship with himself. But like the father in this parable of the prodigal son, God does not force us to stay at home with him. He doesn't force us to live in relationship with him. God refuses to ravish us. Instead, he woos us. Why? Because he's given us free will, because he loves us, and love refuses to force. A parent does not brainwash their child if they love their child. They woo their child, they teach their child, they sacrifice for their child. What is real? Obviously, matter and energy are real, and God has given us rational minds and senses to pick up on material physical reality. But guess what? At the core of the universe is a God who's competent, who loves you, and who created matter and energy, and who gave you the gift of life. Jesus Christ revealed God accurately. He revealed that God loves you and that he's amazingly gracious. Jesus bled and died on a cross to pay the penalty that you and I deserve for turning our backs on God and going our own way. Is it not time for you to get in touch with reality? To get in touch not just with the physical material world, but also to get in touch with the God who created the universe, who gave you the gift of life, who's competent and good, and who loves you more deeply than anybody else in the cosmos. Look at Jesus Christ. He revealed God most clearly, and he revealed that God loves you and created you to live in relationship with him. I encourage you right now, humbly ask Christ to forgive you for your wrongdoing, put your faith and trust in him, and commit your life to live for him by his grace. That is the most important decision a human being can make.